Muted. Muted. Unmuted. Unmuted.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. We thank Allah for allowing us to meet with you once again for congregational prayer. And to be able to remind you of the importance of the keeping up of prayer. Whoever of you is in the conference room, it can't be but a few of you. Now, I'm not going to call no names, but stop using the control access code to come into the room. You use the 912932 access code. Now don't come into the conference room using my control code, because you keep muting my phone and I'm getting sick of it. Now and that goes for the other conference room number 2. You use the one that the public is accessing, so you will stop muting my line. Now, we in the 24th chapter of Matthew, after Jesus warned the people that it's time now that I share with you the things that I noticed that I didn't say nothing about before, because I did not have maturity of mind to understand what was being done. When I was a child, I spake as a child and understood as a child. But now that I'm a man and have put away the childish deeds, I put away childish thinking, childish things. That covers everything. When it says, that's why, like it's written, you just cannot improve on Allah's words. You don't have to say, enumerate when you understand the meaning of the term things. Because that covers deeds and actions. Those are things. Thoughts, those are things. And so that statement covered it all. And my responsibility is to explain it to you, guide you to the truth of it, to the understanding of it. That's the truth of it. He will guide you into the understanding of all of the truth. And that's what I do. I want to give you some further proof that, my parents were not believers. My parents were caught up in the religious doctrine of this world. But children are a trust. The children that are the offspring of you, they're not yours. Everybody belongs to Allah. You hear people running around here talking about God's chosen people. God's chosen people was the messengers of God, the prophets and messengers. God's people is everybody on the planet. That's why all of the chosen ones were universal, and their message was for everybody. Even though the language they spoke was the language of their people. But since everybody didn't speak the same language, then we sent no messenger but with the language of the people that he was living with. But we fixed it where people can translate one language into another and whatnot, so that when the day came that you would all be held to account, won't nobody have an excuse. So this is not no joke. You taking it for a joke, and I'm using the proverbial you. In other words, whoever the shoe fit. This ain't no joke. You're at the end of the world that you have come to know. That's why you find all of this dissatisfaction and disagreement between people who should have been in agreement with each other. And ain't no saving it. There's things I'm going to share with you. But let's see here. As I told you, hindsight is 20/20. And as I think back over some of the things that was done, like when the messenger taught us there was no big I's and little U's in Islam. Well, you can tell that you are being brought into Islam now, because there truly are no big I's and little U's behind me. Everybody that's sitting with you, they ain't got no rank over you. They're your brother and your sister. They can't order you to do nothing. And if you decide you want to do something, they can't stop you. There's no compulsion in religion. So with my parents, having been outside of the circle of Islam, when my mother came to the temple, I brought her, and she didn't want it. Allah created the mind that's in me out of a despised fluid. just like the physical form that we all was made from. It's a fluid. Don't nobody want to look at it, and don't nobody want to get it on them. These intelligent people don't. And so that is what we were made from. You see, the only one that uh, is valuable to is someone who wants another human being. So when you want another human being, then that fluid is very important to you. Huh? He wanted a different human being than himself. So he made a school by studying himself. You can't teach others if you don't first study. As Allah told me, study to show thyself approved, not unto men, but unto God. A workman that needed not to be ashamed. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to study to show himself approved. As he said, the path is too crooked. Elijah had to come and make a path for God to come, because this path, God ain't coming in there. He had to make a path that would attract the God that he was looking for. And he had the keys of hell and death. Because if he didn't have the keys to it, the dead one couldn't do nothing. He had to give him life and then give him the keys. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he told everybody he had the keys. And he also told everybody that Allah told him, if not one of them believe in you, Elijah, he said, you come and bring me the keys. That's what he told you that the God told him. And I agree with that 105%. I don't care if didn't nobody believe in him. I did. And I don't care if the whole world think that they're going to come against me. You done already lost. You just walking dead and don't know it. And if I don't give you life, you ain't got no life in you. And you sure can't harm me. So we're going to go on and share these things with you. Now, I didn't come from believing parents. I wouldn't have been dead if I had believing parents. Likewise, just because parents are believers, that don't mean their children are believers. It don't work like that. Flesh and blood don't inherit righteousness. Crooked parents don't mean that the child gonna be crooked. And straight parents don't mean that the child gonna be straight. Righteousness is a choice. No compulsion in religion. Everybody had to choose. Whither then are you going? Why you won't be able to blame nobody? And I tell people all the time. I tell parents all the time. Well, you sitting up here grieving over some low down child you done gave birth to. You know you raised him right. If he did something other than what you done, what are you worrying about it for? To hell with him. See, I'm a different man than the rest of y'all. I don't, I care about you until I see that you don't care nothing about Allah and I'm through with you. You ignore Allah's word, you just lost your friend with me. You don't, you ain't gonna never be that pretty. You ain't gonna never be that handsome. So you just got ugly to me. So that's just remember that now. Allah didn't raise me up to be wishy-washy. So yes, let me show you. As I look back, that's how I told you I've been to this rodeo before. I done seen what happens when people are inside of your nation trying to tear it up from the inside. That's what I was warning white people about. I warned them about the Congress. It don't take no Congress or the lawmaking body. If they see something that go wrong, if they see something that ain't right, that's harming the people of America, they can get in there and fix it. And when I saw that they was misinterpreting, purposely misinterpreting the Second Amendment, pretending that it's vague. There's no vagueness in the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment starts off saying a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security or to the security of the state, meaning the nation. The right of the people to keep and to bear arms shall not be infringed. There ain't no vagueness in that. That's why they had to make you dumb. They couldn't. They had to undermine the education of you. And not look. I was educated in the American school system. Why I understand that? I was educated back in the 50s. Go look at some of the shows, the movies of the 50s and see the difference in the language and see the difference in the people's respect for one another and respect for the country and respect for the flag and all of that. And that's why you ain't got no respect for nothing no more. But you gonna respect me from now on when you come in my class. I'm gonna cast your line behind in hell. You want to start something? Well, you done started something. And now it's going to be something. If you don't care nothing about me, don't like me, the best thing for you to do is go get out of here. You'd be better off to just leave because from that you can repent. You can change your mind. I ain't saying you're going to change your mind, but you can change your mind. But sitting up in here faking, all right. See, you can talk like that when you ain't going to pass no bucket. I ain't worried about you. I ain't gonna give you no money. I didn't ask you for no money. Do I look like I need your money? Bro, where's Brother Calvin, Brother Morris? Down there working on it. Huh? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Ask them what kind of offers I got for people wanting me to go to work for them, doing and building for them and doing stuff when they saw us working on that house for Katie and them and whatnot. I had people come up to me asking me to work for them and offered to pay me money. I had a man call me and said he wanted us to do some work for him in Jackson. And I don't even know how he got my number. But he called, well, I guess he got it off of, the, the internet or whatever. But he said he didn't want nobody else to do the work for him. He wanted us to do it. That's because, look, the last thing I'm worrying about is how I'm going to eat and how my followers going to eat. We going to eat fine. We have to fast because we get fat. So, I ain't worried about eating. And I ain't worried about no roof over my head either. I can build me a house. And we can build houses for each other. We ain't got to go beg nobody to give us nothing. So don't be running around here talking about what you did for us. You ain't did nothing for us. Who we do for? We do for ourselves. Is that right? And if you don't believe it, you keep looking. Yes, I tell the brothers all the time. I say, look, even though we can do a lot of things for ourselves, look, it's people in business to do these things. What if everybody decide that they're going to just do it for themselves? The economy would collapse. So you have to understand that there's a limit to, because doing for yourself is also supporting other people's businesses that's in your community. You see? Most people don't understand, that, but I understand it. You see, unless you stay behind me and pay attention, and you will discover that you ain't got no better way of doing things than I do. Anyway, what are these people doing here? Don't want to give me the it's amazing how I I have to laugh sometimes because they watch you what you're looking up, obviously. It ain't came up yet. So let's try it again. I want you to get me another online Quran. You know, they mad at us now. Man. Let's see here. It's all right. I got helpers in here. Find where it said make noise therein. You know, these people. Matter of fact, I want let's put our own Quran on online. All you do is scan it and put it in there. You say it's 41 and 26. Yeah. All right. I remember when we used to be in the we'd be in the meetings, and you know, the messenger saw him, but he didn't. You notice all through school, whenever the teacher was teaching, the classroom was very quiet. You remember that? Matter of fact, while the teacher was teaching, even if you was whispering, the teacher seemed like they'd hear you and say, "Hey, hey," and call you out. And say, "Oh, so you can teach the class? Come on up." And it, huh? And say, "You sit your behind there and be quiet." Huh? Then when you used to come into the temple, the 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 minister would be speaking, and it would be people walking up and down the aisles wherever believers were sitting. Then bear witness, bear witness. That meant make noise. You see, I didn't know it at the time, because you know, to bear witness actually means to be quiet and listen until you are called up to speak. But the Holy Quran says, and those who disbelieve say, now how you know they was disbelieving? The messenger said the nation is honeycombed with hypocrites. That's what he said. And when WD came in, you saw all of them go that way and start calling the messenger a lie. Said he wasn't no messenger. That wasn't true Islam. Huh? Those who disbelieve say, listen not to this Quran, but make noise therein. Perhaps you may overcome. Make noise. So instead of saying make noise, they say bear witness. And then people be hollering and hooping and going, that's right, that's right. I mean, you can hear them more than you can hear the man that's talking. That's why you notice people coming here in my class and they get to hollering, that's right. Well, if it's right, then be quiet and listen. I don't need to hear you. I don't need no cheering section. The scripture says my fan is in my hand. It's called Holy Bible and Holy Quran. And all my fans is right here. Jesus, Moses, David, Solomon, all them, my fans, they bore me witness. So, I want you to. I wanted to show you something else today, um, because I told you uh, that Miss Clinton was a, a patriot, and she, uh, if the ones that you trusted her, and if you trust them, they know her better than you do. It wouldn't have made no difference what them crooks in Russia put out there. You notice it didn't fool me, because I don't go by what I heard about you. I go by what I see about you. And the one thing you couldn't change, no matter what you were saying about Miss Clinton, when you saw her next to Donald Trump and you heard her speak next to Donald Trump, it was clear who was qualified and who wasn't. Now, I want you to see something here. I had this thing set, and I guess it went on back to the beginning. Just a minute.
Just let me think. Power to. Anyway. Do you believe this? Donald Trump.
Don't put it on that. I don't want them to be talking about their commercials and stuff. Now you can put it on.
Definitively say that Russia interfered in the 2016 election?
Well, I think it was Russia, and I think it could have been other people in other countries. Could have been a lot of people interfered.
Donald Trump's denial that Russia interfered in our election took yet another blow on Friday when Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Will you once and for all, yes or no, definitively say that Russia interfered in the 2016 election?
Well, I think it was Russia, and I think it could have been other people in other countries. Could have been a lot of people interfered.
Donald Trump's denial that Russia interfered in our election took yet another blow on Friday when Special Counsel Robert Mueller charged 13 Russians and 3 Russian-operated organizations with 8 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States by engaging in a long-running and well-funded intelligence operation aimed at sowing discord on the left and on the right. But despite the extremely detailed 37-page indictment, the White House is still denying the stated goal of the Russian operation, to sow chaos with the express purpose of supporting Donald Trump.
All these efforts were about sowing confusion in the electoral process and undermining the next president, not about supporting one candidate over the other. And so really, when you...
Now, you hear this sycophant here trying to tell you and me that what we were seeing wasn't what we were seeing. Now, he's going to redefine what the purpose of Russia meddling into is, to undermine whoever is the next president. Now, what kind of sense did that make? But that's what they have did with the, reduced their thinking of your intelligence. When people mess over you, you know what con men say when they're able to con a bunch of people, and what makes them keep on doing it? I told you I grew up in the ghetto. I done seen some stuff. And I done heard some stuff. You know what the con men and the dealers and the hustlers and all them people who mess over people. You know what they how they promote themselves, how they sleep good. They say, well, if they that stupid, they deserve it. Oh, that's why they come out here and just throw anything at you. And then when this people go for it, they say, hey, these fools deserve everything we doing to them. I'm just telling you now. Don't nobody never say nothing to me no more. I told you I know more than you thought I did. Now, watch this.
These efforts by Democrats that pushing this collusion conspiracy, what they're really doing is doing the dirty work for the Russians for them.
Joining me now, Joe Wine-Banks, former Assistant Watergate Special Prosecutor, Malcolm Nance, author of the book, The Plot to Hack America, and Richard Painter is back with us. Now, I'm coming to you first. Let's talk about what the Russians actually did. We talked about this a lot, but let's repack it again. You had Russians who were told when they communicated with a Texas-based grassroots organization, who we're trying to figure out who that is, you probably know. During the exchange, they were told, target purple states like Colorado, Virginia, and Florida. Why is that significant?
Well, because what they were trying to do is determine whether they can influence those states enough in order to flip the votes. Not by actually going into the machines, of course.
Right.
They are hacking the mindset of the voters there. I just want to point out, this entire document spells out an old KGB methodology brought into the Russian military staff and general staff known as hybrid warfare, which has a very specific component into it they used to call reflexive control. Reflexive control is when you take the environment that your opponent is in and you create the meta narrative around it, so that when
you see, even the way he's explaining reflexive control is complicated. But reflexive control is just another term for the art of manipulating people into doing what you want them to do. Now, its name tells you what it's really about. You ever been to the doctor for a checkup? He make you cross your knee, and he take that little hammer and hit your knee. What is he checking? Your reflexes. He hit you a certain person, and your knee, your nerve, or whatever that is he hitting on there, reacts. Is that right? It reflexes. Huh? Okay, well, reflexes, same thing, reflective control. You show people one thing, or you stimulate a person's thought process, or you stimulate a person's emotions to get a certain reflective reaction. And now they changed the name of it, which he gonna tell you they done changed the name of it now. But it's the same thing.
they enter that environment, they think all of it's their idea. They've changed the name of reflexive control to perception management. It is a very old school propaganda methodology, and this entire mission.
See, now they did simplify it a little bit. Perception is your understanding of things. And that's with the internet, is perception management, you see. And so, you got people going on the internet, feeding themselves, thinking that they doing research, and they ain't had sense enough to look at what they are being told and look at what the person that is being talked about is doing. That's why the Holy Quran warns us. The Word of God warns us that if an unrighteous person brings you news, look carefully into it. Our elders used to tell us, well, consider the source of it. If the source is vague, if someone claims to be bringing you clear truth, then how does clear truth come from a vague source? That you don't expect clear truth, plain truth, to come from a vague source. I mean, who are these people that's bringing you this news? And bringing you news about someone, and they'll tell you a person said something, and you go back, if you go and check it, if you go and check the history, you'll discover that it wasn't quite said the way that they said it was said. You understand? You know one of the biggest tales about crooks. They will just bring something to you out of the blue. Just like, who started talking about fake news? The very ones who was doing it. So that they could get out in front of it. And when you start seeing that they was the one giving fake news and you said something, then the people, the lie got out first, so they would think you was the liar for lying on them because they brought up fake news first. Huh? But you can always do away with that lie by playing the truth. And then you can see who's been giving you a lie. Do you understand? But you got to do some research. That's why the Holy Quran says, look carefully into it. You see? Now watch this. I'm going to show you some things.
Was a perception management operation.
And perception of what? So they were trying to essentially get Americans to be unwitting agents, essentially, of their operation by what? Changing their belief system about Hillary Clinton in favor of Bernie Sanders or Jill Stein or what?
Right, yeah, in favor of well, first off, the perception that the person that they want to influence the most is whoever their preferred candidate is. And he's going to come into an environment in which all of these people are criticizing Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Now, that's your candidate. Then the fluid that they use to stimulate this amoeba, if we want to call it that, is the information warfare domain, which is the internet, which is Twitter, which is Facebook, which is all these false propaganda activities that they were doing. That would give them the impression that there was a groundswell of activity. And then by using these bots, you multiply that by an order of magnitude, and the only thing you see is their information.
Got it, right. So when you're Googling and Jill Wine-Banks and you hit Google Hillary Clinton, you won't get, Washington Post, New York Times, you get sort of fake news sites that are coming up in your feed. They also were buying a lot of ads, a sampling of those political ads that were run on social media. April 6, 2016, a great number of black people support us saying that Hillary Clinton is not my president. May 24, 2016, Hillary Clinton doesn't deserve the black vote. May 19, vote Republican, vote Trump, and support the Second Amendment. July 20, Ohio wants Hillary for prison, which we saw a lot in Cleveland at the convention. October 19, 2016, Hillary is a Satan, and her crimes and lies have proved just how evil she is. From the indictment, they were controlled. Republican, vote Trump, and support support the Second Amendment. July 20, Ohio wants Hillary for prison, which we saw a lot in Cleveland at the convention. October 19, 2016, Hillary is a Satan, and her crimes and lies have proved just how evil she is.
That's pretty deep, ain't it? And it was all Russia. Now, just wait a minute. Let's show you something. You know, it's sad when you claim that Allah is guiding you and you take part in a slander campaign against someone based on gossip when you claim that you're a Muslim. You know, that's the one thing that you will never get me involved in, is helping you promote a lie on someone, even if I don't like them. You know, the people in this world, they don't, if they don't like you, they don't mind people lying on you. They'll help them. They're like, oh, he probably did it. Oh, she probably did it. Huh? I always want to know where's your proof of that? Do you know, you got some, you know, it's I just believe in treating others like I want to be treated. How you like it when somebody just say something about you or tell a half truth, which ain't no truth at all? Do you swear to tell the truth, the half truth, and nothing but the half truth? Is that what they ask you? They want the whole truth. Now, you just heard him call Satan, right? Now, watch this.
How many of you voting for Hillary? You don't have to raise your hands. I do not blame you for wanting a female president. But that's a wicked woman.
This the man that take you to Scientology? This the man. Now, if he's supporting her, how come you ain't never heard him say nothing negative about Donald Trump? Wonder how much they paid him. She's a wicked woman, right? What? Just a minute. Listen to him.
How many of you voting for Hillary? You don't have to raise your hand.
Didn't I tell you a lot of Negroes voted for Donald Trump? Just like all our ignorant people, millions, followed him to Washington, him and them crooked preachers. And he get up there talking about the measurements of the Washington Monument. Then he didn't even ask him to join with him. He had already made a promise. He wasn't going to ask nobody to join with him. He promised his reverend friend that. When one of the reverends asked him, Farrakhan, you're not going to use this to proselytize your faith, are you? He said, no, sir. He said, you would do that? He said, yes, sir. And he got there and he did just what he promised. Now, this same man that got all that hateful stuff to say about Miss Clinton, he ain't said nothing about Donald Trump. Huh? He didn't have to. All he had to do was say, don't vote for Hillary. Well, who's left to vote for? Huh? All right. Now listen to him now.
I do not blame you for wanting a female president. But that's a wicked woman. Now, listen, you can vote for her, but vote for her with knowledge. She can be sweet, but so can you. And you know when you're sweet but playing a game.
Who that fit? So now all I'm can't say too much about Donald Trump because what? They put him in there. Now he trashing the country like WD trashed the nation and all them niggas. I'm sorry. All them Negroes was faking like they was black people. They supported him to tear everything up that they claimed to believe in. And you want to jump up in my face? You ain't gonna do nothing to me, but stay out of my face. Like I told you, you ain't got no wolf tickets to sell me. I'm kind of like the Hulk on that one. When he told them people, his secret is that he stays mad. He ain't got to get mad. It's just how he learned to control it. The lion and the lamb shall lie down together. The only time I don't have a lot of control over mine is when I'm asleep. And I have all kind of fights and wake myself up sometimes. But other than that, you know, it's cool. But no, I ain't got to get mad. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Now he's standing up there running Miss Clinton down for Donald Trump.
All of a sudden she knows about Trayvon Martin.
Does Minister Farrakhan have a problem with the English language? Huh? Have you ever heard him have an impediment in speech? Then when did Trayvon Martin's name become Trayvon? Trayvon Martin. Huh? See, if you don't care enough about me to pronounce my name right, I know you don't care nothing else about me. If he cared about black people, why would he be taking them over there to Scientology as if Islam needs some help from Scientology? Man charging you $300 and something a seat for to get up close to the front row, and you think he cares something about you? And he say just what I told you they say when you stupid enough to pay it. You deserve what you get. What is that? That's stupid. Huh? Didn't they tell you that Donald Trump was in shock when he found out he was president? He just knew you couldn't be that stupid. And when you was that stupid, you deserve what you get. He got a house full of people, brought the Russians into the White House, into the Oval Office, and cameras in there. And kept the American press out. Them get the hell on out of here. That's why. No, you can't come in there. I mean, look, I warned you before you put him in there. Now you got 100 and something people in the top security places that ain't got no security clearance. They ain't got no business being trusted with security, top secret information about the United States and its business with the rest of the world and whatnot. Let's finish hearing what Mr. Farrakhan got to say here. Now, watch what he said about Miss Clinton.
All of a sudden, the boy's been dead nearly 2 years. Now she's talking about him like she met the mother, and oh, these white people, this is Satan. You fall for that crap.
He's the one fell for the crap. What did they show you that they call Hillary Satan? Now who parakeeting it? Just listen.
Most of you that went to jail for having a little blunt in your pocket, they arranged that. The Clintons.
No, the Clintons didn't arrange that. When I was in high school, a brother gave me a roach. And I put it in my cigarette pack and forgot it was in there. And because I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke weed, but the brother gave it to me. Right on, bro. And I stuck it in my pack. The police stopped us, and I was walking down the street. He pulled us over, frisked us, got to my pack, and the roach came out. He called him a blunt, a little butt of a joint. We call them roaches. And I looked at him. I say, well, I don't really smoke that. I just took it because the brother gave it to me. And so he took me down to the station. And then called my parents. My mother come there, and my daddy. He said, bring this gown out here. And so I looked at him. I said, I told them the truth. Said, no, I just took it because when they asked me who gave it to me, I told them, I didn't tell them who gave it to me. I told my mother and them who gave it to me later. But I said, I just took it because, but I don't smoke. I don't smoke grass. And so my mother believed me. And you know, it set her mind at ease. You know, but Hillary Clinton them didn't have nothing to do with that. That was back in the 60s. It was against the law to have marijuana. Now, why you want to try to make it look like what they supposed to do? Just let you keep it? Don't do nothing to you? Now, I mean, just listen at him how he talking. He appealing to who? The Nation of Islam didn't allow you to be in the nation knowingly that you was in there smoking dope. You got put out. So what is he defending? Listen to him. I'm going to back it up a minute.
For having a little blunt in your pocket. Most of you that went to jail for having a little blunt in your pocket, they arranged that. The Clintons.
What is he? Do you see how he done lost his mind? And what they sitting up like, yeah. He was one of the main ones to say, brother, we ain't gonna have no dope using and no dope pushing in the black community. One day we're gonna come after you. He stood up and taught that. What is he defending? So she's condemned for saying what we say? We don't want no drugs in our community. Just listen.
Mass incarceration came about under the Clintons.
He lied. So wasn't none of us being incarcerated before the Clintons? What do you, I mean, really? Mass incarcerations. You know, the one thing about getting incarcerated, in order to get incarcerated, you had to be did something to break the law. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You know what Allah said? Mass incarcerations didn't come about with the Clintons or with none of that came about with the word of God. You know what God told the devil? He said, on you is a curse till the day of judgment. And the devil told him, my Lord, since you have judged me to be erring, and I'm gonna let y'all go. It's late, but remind me to teach on this. He said, "My Lord, since you judged me to be erring, I'm gonna make evil fast seeming to them on earth, and I shall cause." And now he think that going to jail for breaking the law is evil. But anyway. It said, I'm going to make evil fast seeming to them on earth and cause them all to deviate. And Allah said to him, and he said, except thy servants from among them, the purified ones. Allah said to him, he said, that's the right way with me. But as regards to my servants, thou hast no authority over them, except such of the deviators as follow thee. And I will certainly fill hell with them all. Huh? So whose idea was it for mass incarceration? Didn't he tell the devil that he got authority to do that to everybody who followed his evil? So what Farrakhan talking about, Miss Clinton? You notice, I mean, the people who followed him, what did they get out of following him to Washington, other than less money in their pocket? It's the truth. I mean, you mad at me for standing up here telling the truth. It's sad. Now, wait a minute. He ain't through.
Don't forget that. They call my young gangbangers super predators.
Did you hear how he put that? They call my young gangbangers super predators. Listen.
Oh, my young gangbangers super predators. And Black Lives Matter put it to her. She didn't know how to handle that. Call you a super predator that has no conscience, no sensitivity. Like you a dog, you an animal. We gotta bring you to heel. You, my young brothers, this is what she said about you. And she didn't just say it.
So what he calling them, gangbangers? I mean, what? He said, call my young gangbangers super predators. And this is what she said about you, brother. So them is gangbangers he talking to? You know, that's the one thing that when I was growing up, we didn't, you know, anybody that get in a gang, we thought that was cowardly. Why all y'all got to go jump on one man? What is that about? We call that rat packing people. Matter of fact, when I was in elementary school and halfway through junior high school, if two people was fighting and somebody else jumped in to help the other one, somebody else would jump in to help and said, no, you ain't gonna do that, man. Now you let them fight. Don't be no rat packing around here. You ask the brothers. They ain't never seen me try to take one man and let them go beat up on nobody. I ain't asked you to go beat up nobody for me. If we was having a meeting and somebody disrupted the meeting, I'd tell them, no, let him talk. I handle it. I'm trying to convert these people. How you gonna convert the man if you beat him up? Long as he ain't putting his hands on nobody, don't put your hands on him. But now, I mean, have you seen what some of these gangs do to each other? Do that seem like they got a heart? Well, then why get mad when somebody say they're a super predator, heartless super predator? And that's not really what she said. But listen to this. Now, he fussing about it. Now, listen to this and see if the teachings don't pop out at you.
It became law and policy of the U.S. government under Bill Clinton and his wife, and now she's apologizing. But apologizing can't bring back the broken families. Apologizing.
Have Donald Trump ever apologized for what them 5 brothers that he was telling me I need to get the death penalty? Have Donald Trump ever apologized for anything he did to us? Now, if he fussing about something Miss Clinton did, or that he suggests she did, or that even that because she didn't bother to deny because wasn't nobody gonna hear it no way. So she simply apologized. She said she was sorry. How come that ain't enough? It's a start, ain't it? It beats this fella that you got in there now. But you see, you can always tell when somebody else don't care nothing about you. They side with other people who don't care nothing about you. Do you understand? Now just listen.
Can't bring back those that been destroyed in prison life. Apologizing. Can't bring back those that been.
Now, this man claimed to be a religious man. What is one of the first criterions that is called for if you have sincere repentance? If he'd have met Paul on the way, if he'd have met Saul on the way to Damascus, and asked Saul, well, why are you persecuting me? And Saul had tried to apologize. What would he have told Saul? Sorry, don't get it. I'm finna take your head. Is that what you say when someone tries to repent of something that they were wrong about? Now, let me let you hear what Miss Clinton said. Now, you know, people don't mind lying on you. And you notice I teach what I teach in an open forum. Now, this was back in the 60s now. She's a young woman. Now, listen. And by the way, what do the first lady have to do with the presidency? Do she sign anything? Can she sign anything into law? Then why he tried to put that on her? Mr. Clinton was doing plenty of things she didn't agree with. Well, I'm just letting you understand something. But now listen to what she said, and then listen to what they said she said. She said that Minister Farrakhan said that she called black people, them gangbangers, super predators. Now listen to her exact words. Let's see here. Let's see if I can open it up with, no, I already got that on there. Well, we'll open it up with this.
The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
The fourth challenge is to take back our streets from crime, gangs, and drugs. And we have actually been making progress on this count as a nation because of what local law enforcement officials are doing, because of what citizens and neighborhood patrols are doing. We're making some progress. Much of it is related to the initiative called community policing. because we have finally gotten more police officers on the street. That was one of the goals that the president had when he pushed the crime bill that was passed in 1994. He promised 100,000 police. We're moving in that direction, but we can see it already makes a difference. Because if we have more police interacting with people, having them on the streets, we can prevent crimes. We can prevent petty crimes from turning into something worse. But we also have to have an organized effort against gangs. Just as in a previous generation, we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs.
Now, she said they're the kind that are called super predators. Did she call them super predators? But you see, people, you remember, how many of y'all saw Total Disclosure? You remember when they were sitting at the table with the lawyers? And he said, well, I didn't say anything because I didn't want to upset my wife. Oh, so you didn't want your wife to know that you was up there messing right. You know, he was there twisting the man's words. You know, and that's what people do. They twisted her words. You know, I'm gonna cut this short. We ain't got enough time today. Everybody got things to do. So, but remind me tomorrow to touch on these things, and I will if it pleases Allah. And you know, I don't know what this story is on my. All of a sudden, the Holy Quran don't want to let me find nothing. They was pushing the Quran down our throat for a while there, wasn't they? And I got mad because I understand it now. It ain't going to help you trying to block me from being able to go and find what I'm looking for. Because everybody know I don't lie about what's in the book. So I can tell them. I tell them, well, one day I'll find it and show it to you. But it's in there. You know, it's you remember that commercial? It's Prego. It's in there. Yeah, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna let you go. Let's have prayer. Just turn them off. Attent. Hut. Original salute. Ready front. Prayer position. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And I bear witness that I know of none who deserves to be served or worshipped beside thee. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due and be to thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful Master of the Day of Requital. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for help. O Allah, please continue to guide us and keep us on the right path and way, the straight path and way of thee and those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not the crooked paths and ways of Satan and those upon whom thy wrath is or will be brought down, nor the foolish paths and ways of those who go astray or who are led astray, even after they've heard and been given the true understanding of thy holy word and teachings. Truly, I have again turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be totally upright, to thee who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayers, my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate hast thou, in this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. I know of no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults and weaknesses. So please grant me and my true followers and family continuous protection against all of our faults and weaknesses. For none grants protection against faults and weaknesses but thee. And guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts. For none can guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts but thee. And turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts. For none can turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts but thee. And, O Allah, we beseech thee for thy help and ask thy protection. And we believe in thee and we trust in thee. And we seek thy help to laud thee in the best manner, and to never be ungrateful unto thee, and to cast off and to forsake him or her who is disobedient unto thee, and to remove from ourselves all things that are displeasing unto thee and beside thee. And, O Allah, please keep us in our right minds at all times, and let us not be or turn hypocrites or cowards, and remove from us the evil state of mind and actions and principles of Satan, and grant to us the righteous state of mind and the actions and principles that belong in upright and righteous Muslims. And bless us not only to see the hereafter, but to abide and live therein with thee. Ameen and Ameen. Hut, 10, hut. Original salute. Ready front. You may be seated. Jeremiah, come here. Come here. Make this your last time getting up. When it's prayer, time to go have prayer, to go to the restaurant. You go before prayer. Here? All right. Now get on over there and sit down. Come here. Get on around here and sit down. All right. Did anyone have any questions they wanted to ask me before I let you go? You better stop gobbling down everything you find on the internet. I'm going to tell you something. I've been an example to you of how you should treat people that come on the internet to tell you something. Not just on the internet, but on anything. If they being honest with you, they'll make an open forum where if you have some questions or some arguments you want to present, they'll listen. Other than that, you better be careful about what you let people tell you. All right. Any objection to what I just said? Having a president like you have now is a wake-up call for everybody, not just in America, but all over the world. Don't you know that the very thing that can give you life is a very dangerous thing? That is water. Give you too much of it, and it'll kill you. Give you more than you can handle, it will kill you. You killing your own minds. And going in that's suicide. You know, when you go jumping, you know you can't swim, and you go jump in some deep water. Well, what is that? That's suicide. If you are my follower, you seek the way through that internet behind me. Am I clear? You see what happens when you get behind the wrong one. You just seen Farrakhan up there parakeeting what he heard some other people say. Huh? It's funny how people say it's not okay for you to kill their people that they like, but when it's somebody that they don't like, it's okay. What kind of judgment is that? God didn't say thou shalt not kill unless you hate him. He said thou shalt not kill. He knew that eventually that I would wake up to the fact that all flesh is innocent, because all flesh can't do nothing but what a mind that you cannot kill with a bullet. You cannot kill it with a knife. You cannot kill it with anything physical. The mind is the guilty one. So, thou shalt not kill. All right. So, I look forward to tomorrow's class, and if it pleases Allah, we will go into some depth tomorrow. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to take a while, because it requires much to be said. And so maybe Allah will streamline it for me between now and then. So may Allah bless us all and keep us safe and in our right minds. May Allah's Assalamu alaikum.